Oh my god, look at them all. There's a pretty bloody big one. Look at the teeth on these fish.
Imagine being dropped on a deserted island miles from anything that even remotely resembles Wi-Fi or breakfast. No food, no clean water, no lifeline. Just rocks, trees, and the soundtrack of waves crashing like nature's own white noise machine turned up too loud. Our main guy is about to spend 3 long days out here with only 2 tools, a survival knife and a rusty fishing rod. It's less cast away and more cast off, with lower budget and higher risk. No food, no lighter, no backup. Every step a mini battle with Mother Nature herself. The question is, can he find something edible before loneliness eats him alive? This isn't just survival. It's a crash course in bad life decisions. Welcome to the 3-day challenge of field days, where optimism tends to expire faster than sunscreen on a Florida beach. As morning breaks, Fields sets off toward an island so empty, even GPS says, you're on your own. His gear is simple: 1 backpack, 1 fishing rod, 1 knife sharp enough to cut through both coconuts and poor judgment. He lands, skips the sunbathing, and dives straight into a beach littered with junk, scavenging like Sherlock Holmes, if Sherlock specialized in garbage. Luck strikes when he spots a tangled rope, glorious in its own messy way. He wraps it around his waist like a gladiator at a clearance sale and keeps moving. Moments later, he spots mysterious footprints, puts on his best detective face, and stumbles across a coconut. He gives it a shake. There's liquid inside. Jackpot. But the moment he cracks it open, the smell hits him. Less tropical freshness, more expired tofu bomb.
There's the inside of that coconut. Holy, that stinks, brah.
Waste management just got personal. Still determined, he hunts down another coconut. Bigger, better, definitely worse. Strike 2. But the universe isn't done playing games. It tosses him a plastic sandal. It fits perfectly, on 1 foot. Somewhere out there, another castaway limps barefoot in solidarity. His next discovery is a helmet, and at this point he's halfway to joining Mad Max. Beach edition. Then another sandal. Same foot. Statistically, there's a left foot epidemic happening out here. He grabs a long wooden pole, debating whether it'll be a shelter beam or a self-defense spear, depending on which comes first, rain or regret. Hauling his loot back to the shade, he tests another coconut. Then he sniffs again. Hope dies. At this stage, even bottled swamp water would smell fine. The beach trash casino keeps paying out. He spots a plastic bottle filled with suspicious yellow liquid. Science says don't. Thirst says maybe. He listens to science. Smart move. Another bottle looks clearer. Maybe the tears of previous contestants. He stashes his treasure pile like a zero-budget pirate, determined to find something actually drinkable before dehydration wins. Then, jackpot. Sealed bottles with labels still intact. He doesn't know if it's clean water or the ocean's idea of a practical joke. Nearby lies a tiny glass vial filled with something cloudy. Some kind of DIY mermaid serum, maybe. It's the first time curiosity and survival have gone head-to-head this hard. He keeps scavenging and finds a helmet tough enough to fight a bear, a lighter with no fuel, and a life jacket with more holes than a reality show plot. At least he's dressed for confusion. Finally, he discovers 2 sealed bottles of real water. He drinks with his eyes closed, bliss on his face like a man who's just found Starbucks after the apocalypse.
You can feel it just going down and just lubricating my body.
Proud of his haul, he shows off his treasures. A broken camera, a dozen dead lighters, and the smug satisfaction of someone who just invented eco-recycling by accident. He swears he'll fix one of the lighters, because out here, even hope is flammable. Before trying anything fiery, he tidies his camp, sweeping trash into neat rows like he's hosting an open house for crabs. Collecting rotted planks nearby, he imagines he's furniture shopping for cavemen. Each board could become firewood, a weapon, or both. Primitive times, modern standards. He starts assembling a rough cutting board facing the sea. He grabs a bamboo pole and heads out to hunt fish the old-fashioned way. No rod, no reel, just reflexes and hope. The water is clear. Schools of fish shimmer near the surface like they're taunting him. He takes aim, launches the spear, and misses. Completely. The fish scatter like they just witnessed a public embarrassment. He stands there in silence for a moment, soaked and humbled, before heading back to camp. There's a quiet kind of pride in failure when no one's around to see it. Back at camp, he empties his pockets of all the lighters he found earlier. Dozens of them. Every single one as dead as his patience. Click. Nothing. Click. Still nothing. Each failure sounds like an ex texting, "Hey, how are you?" pointless and exhausting. But quitting isn't an option. He goes back to the trash zone, scavenging again with the focus of someone opening blind boxes. Every flip, every dig, another disappointment, until finally the 49th lighter sparks a miracle. Inside it, flint, the real deal. He pries it out carefully with his knife, holding it like a diamond. Out here, flint is a diamond. With surgeon-level precision, he installs the flint into another lighter, flicks it once, and flash! A spark leaps out like a tiny resurrection of the Stone Age.
Oh, doggy!
Fire. Real, warm, human fire. He looks at it for a long second, maybe longer than necessary. You can almost see the relief hit him like caffeine. Out at sea, the same school of fish still swims close to shore, mocking him. So he grabs his fishing rod and marches back like a man with something to prove. He casts, waits, and waits some more. Nothing bites. Nature clearly didn't RSVP to dinner. He sighs, packs up, and grabs a few dried coconut husks on his way back. Fuel for tonight's redemption arc. Back at camp, he tears the husks apart, rolling the fibrous strands between his palms until they crumble into fine tinder. He stacks the pieces carefully, adds twigs, and flicks the lighter. One spark, and smoke curls upward like a magic trick. Another flick, another breath, and suddenly the fire comes alive. The flames spread fast, crackling with that primal satisfaction humans never get tired of. He feeds the fire, tossing in dry branches, watching smoke drift into the dusk like a barbecue invite to every mosquito in the area. Now, with warmth secured, it's time for comfort. He pulls survival gear from his backpack like a magician revealing props. Sleeping mat, inflatable pillow, and a small tent. Sure, he's tough, but mosquito bites. That's a humiliation no man deserves. He jokes to himself that dying from mosquitoes would be the least cinematic ending ever. He keeps unpacking. One cup, one knife, a camera case, spare batteries, fishing hooks, and a tiny flashlight that looks cute enough to belong in a kid's camping kit. Everything's set. Campfire glowing, gear neatly arranged. He's living like a wilderness CEO, minimalist, efficient, and probably a little delusional. After showing off his essentials, he lays down a tarp like it's a picnic blanket and starts setting up the tent frame. The poles snap together easily. This isn't his first rodeo. Within minutes, the tent stands tall against the orange sky, looking surprisingly professional for something built from chaos. Now there's fire, there's shelter, only one thing left: food. He grabs the fishing rod again and heads to the water, moving with the quiet confidence of someone who's already imagined the YouTube thumbnail. 3 casts in, the line tugs. Finally, a bite. He reels in a silver-white fish striped in black, small but fierce, its fanged mouth like a tiny villain straight out of a horror movie.
Grove Jack, he's got big, look at those big teeth on the front. Good eating, he's about 20 centimeters, 25 to 20 centimeters long. Perfect, man, he's going straight on the fire. That's one bit of food.
Then guts it right there by the water. One careless step and he nearly slices his foot on a piece of broken tile buried in the sand. Survival is a team sport, and apparently the island didn't get the memo. He tosses the shard away and hangs the fish from a branch to rest. Another cast, another chance. This time he hooks one the size of his palm, but the little brute bites through the line and escapes, taking the hook with it. Lesson learned. Ocean fish don't play. He trudges back to camp, one small fish in hand, pride mostly intact. He skewers it on a stick and throws it straight onto the fire, letting the flames decide its fate. No seasoning, no pan, no plan. Just pure prehistoric energy. While the fish cooks, he unpacks more gear. Sleeping bag, pillow, air pump, the full luxury suite. The firelight flickers across his face like he's about to check into the most exclusive spa nature ever made. He collects 10 plastic bottles from the shore, fills them, and sets a glass bottle over the fire to boil water. Meanwhile, the fish crackles in the flames. The skin blackens, flakes curling, aroma rising like victory itself. He sits by the fire, slowly chewing the freshly grilled fish. No salt, no sauce, just pure protein and desperation. Still, for a man stranded in the wild, it's dinner worthy of a Michelin star, or at least a very hungry Yelp review. The sky melts into orange as he finishes eating. He walks to the shore, scoops up cold seawater, and splashes it over his face. A free spa treatment, courtesy of Mother Nature. 0 wait time, 0 moisturizer, 100% loneliness. Night falls quickly. He finds a floating piece of foam, soft, sturdy, and clearly the island's version of IKEA. It's either a seat cushion or the world's smallest boat, depending on how optimistic you feel. He calls it the Foam Deluxe, takes a proud seat, and stares at the fire like a man who just unlocked furniture in survival mode. But sleep? Not happening. He tosses and turns all night, fighting off bugs and regrets. Who knew insomnia came free with the island package? When dawn finally breaks, he's half asleep, half sand. The sunrise glows across the horizon. He drags himself upright, eyes puffy, hair a mess, the look of a poet who forgot his coffee and his will to live. Still, he gets to work, pouring seawater into a glass bottle to boil over last night's fire. Smoke rises lazily through the morning air. The mosquitoes return right on cue, because apparently they didn't get the memo that he's not on the menu. He slaps at them, then covers his legs in sand like an Amazon warrior with SPF 2000. It's a bold new skincare routine. Exfoliate or die trying. After surviving the world's roughest night, he slips on his mismatched sandals and limps toward the beach. For a second, it almost looks like paradise. Then again, paradise usually comes with breakfast. Back at camp, he pulls out his most precious supply, a small packet of instant coffee. Civilization, in powdered form. He pours it into his one plastic cup, adds the boiled water, stirs like it's a sacred ritual, and takes a slow sip. Bitter. Burnt. Heavenly. If Starbucks ever releases a shipwreck roast, this is it. Energy restored, he grabs his fishing rod and starts walking along the beach. Every few steps, his feet crunch over seashells and disappointment. Then, jackpot. A single flip-flop lies half buried in the sand. It's the missing left foot. Finally, the universe delivers. Sure, they don't match, but neither do most relationships. He slips it on and takes a few test steps. It feels wrong. One side heavy, the other squeaky. He walks 10 feet, sighs, and throws it back into the ocean. Some love stories just aren't meant to last. Still, he keeps going, eyes scanning the shoreline like a bargain hunter on Black Friday. Nothing. Just shells, rocks, and one hermit crab moving with more confidence than most people on LinkedIn. He crouches, studies it for a second, and then sets it free, because apparently he's a humanitarian now. The water ahead glistens like glass. He sees his reflection, tired, sunburned, but stubborn. He casts his line into the sea. A few seconds later, the rod twitches. He pulls, heart racing, only for the fish to slip away, leaving him holding nothing but bad decisions and wet string. No problem. He casts again. This time, the line tightens, a real bite. He reels in hard, adrenaline surging, and finally lands a small, silver-white fish. Not big, but shiny enough to restore faith in the universe. Beneath it, an entire school of fish sparkles through the water like they're mocking him. As he tries to unhook it, the little fish suddenly leaps back into the sea. Freedom in one dramatic jump. He stares in disbelief like a man who just dropped his only slice of pizza. Moral of the story? Never celebrate early. He trudges back to camp for a breather, muttering something about sushi being overrated anyway. But rest never lasts long. A few minutes later, he's out again. Same beach, same rod, same fragile hope. Then he spots something strange in the sand. A dark, ridged shell, shaped like it came from another planet. He rinses it off, studies it for a second, and gently places it inside his old helmet. A weird trophy, sure, but in survival mode, everything's collectible. Casting again, the rod bends sharply. The pull is stronger this time. Heavy, real, alive. He braces, grips tighter, eyes wide. Whatever's down there isn't small. Finally, it feels like luck is ready to cash in. He braces his rod and pulls hard, heart pounding. The line jerks again, and out of the water bursts a small swordfish.
That is what you call a long tom. It's a pretty bloody big one. Look at the teeth on these fish.
It looks more like a weapon than a meal. Still, it's too small to eat. He releases it back into the ocean like a saint of seafood. Somewhere, Poseidon probably gives him a thumbs up. Strolling farther down the beach, he spots another flip-flop. Different color, same confusion. He shrugs. At this point, he could probably open a 1-foot shoe store. Survival fashion, he mutters. Half price for singles. A few steps later, he reaches a coconut tree that's already been raided. The ground shows clear signs of a professional job. Chopped husks, footprints, bite marks. It's basically a crime scene from CSI, Island Edition. He sighs and moves inland, still chasing that miracle of hydration. Deep in the trees, he finds a small puddle shimmering with promise. He scoops some up, takes a sniff, and, of course, it's seawater. The ocean just can't let him win. Then finally, luck throws him a bone, or rather, a coconut. A green one, fresh from the branch, lying there like a divine gift from Mother Nature herself. He holds it up like it's the holy grail of electrolytes, cradling it with the reverence most people reserve for newborns or new iPhones. Moments later, he spots another fruit nearby. Round, mysterious, and definitely not a coconut. Naturally, he takes a bite. Big mistake. His face twists in regret. Somewhere, Darwin sighs in approval. He spits it out, pats the ground, and vows to stop eating random things off the ground. Probably. Still searching, he stumbles on another coconut and another flip-flop. It's almost poetic now. Coconuts and footwear, the true currency of this island. He carries them all back toward the sunlight, basking in the heat like a lizard on vacation. Then he cracks one open. Coconut water bursts out, cold and clean. He drinks greedily, eyes closed, sighing like someone who just tasted air conditioning. Under the brutal midday sun, it's pure salvation. He wipes his mouth and grins, then proudly unveils his secret weapon. A makeshift pole crafted from 2 bamboo sticks tied together. It's a DIY spear straight out of a ninja infomercial. He aims it toward the next tree, ready for what he calls the legendary coconut poke. What follows is 30 minutes of pure chaos. He jabs, adjusts, sweats, swears, jabs again. The coconut refuses to surrender. The sun beats down, the pole creaks, and his shoulders burn. After what feels like a gym session from hell, the first coconut finally drops with a thud. Victory! He cheers like a man who just won the lottery of fruit. Seconds later, another one falls, and then 2 more. Jackpot. 4 coconuts total, enough to start a hydration empire. On his way back, he finds a torn basket washed ashore. It's ripped, ugly, and perfect. He loads the coconuts in and carries them home like a proud grocery shopper on discount day. Back at camp, he cracks open one of the coconuts to celebrate, only for a foul stench to explode out. It's the olfactory equivalent of heartbreak. He gags, drops it, and declares it banished from civilization. The Rotten Coconut Club just gained a new member. Determined, he opens another. This one smells divine, fresh, sweet, with no trace of trauma. He drinks deeply, savoring it like fine wine.
Wow, that is so sweet, bro. Little bit of bubbles. Very, very, very sweet.
Then laughs to himself, half tempted to write a thank you letter to God. His stomach growls again, louder this time. He scrapes out the coconut meat, soft and white, chewing hungrily. Dessert, breakfast, and therapy, all in one. He tosses a glass bottle onto the fire to heat water, prepping what might be the fanciest coffee ever brewed in survival history. The coconut coffee combo could win awards, if only there were judges around. He sits back, sipping slowly, and for a moment, everything feels calm. The caffeine hits, the breeze cools, and the island almost feels generous. Almost. But then, dark clouds roll in, thick and fast, swallowing the horizon. Within minutes, the sky looks like a movie villain entrance. He scrambles back to camp, throws a tarp over his shelter, hammers a few poles into the ground, and braces for whatever's coming. The wind howls, the ocean stirs, and the air turns heavy. He glances up at the black sky and sighs. Perfect timing. Just before the rain starts, he grabs another coconut and downs it like an emotional support drink. With the storm about to break, he decides to try fishing again, because apparently, optimism hasn't learned its lesson. He casts once, twice, 50 times. Nothing. Not even a nibble. The ocean stares back at him, unimpressed. Defeated but not broken, he trudges home, still clutching his gear. The campfire's almost out, just a few fading embers. He kneels, fans it gently, and watches as tiny sparks flare back to life. A soft orange glow returns, warm and stubborn, like hope itself refusing to die. As night settles in, he remembers yesterday's catch. A single sea snail he almost forgot about. He tosses it on the fire, and within minutes, the smell hits. Warm, buttery, slightly salty. It's basically the popcorn of the apocalypse. Using his knife, he splits the shell, scoops out the meat, and pairs it with fresh coconut. Surf and turf, Island Edition. No 5-star restaurant, no waiter asking for tips. Just him, the fire, and a meal that tastes like victory.
Come on. That's delicious. Look at that. Oh man, I need to find more of these things. That's yum.
For a moment, it's almost emotional. He's alone, covered in sand, eating roasted snail, and yet somehow, this feels like happiness. Maybe survival food really does make everything taste better. Dinner done, he crawls into his tent and stretches out on his makeshift bed. he falls asleep to the music of nature, or at least the remix version featuring mosquitoes. The next morning, he wakes at 5:45. The world is still half asleep, but he's up, stumbling like a man who accidentally joined a yoga retreat. The campfire is just a bed of glowing embers. He crouches, blows gently, and the flames return. He boils more water, stretching his arms toward the sunrise in what can only be described as forest core Pilates. The view is stunning. Beach, ocean, sunrise. But his hands? Scratched, blistered, and now burned after grabbing a glass bottle that's hotter than tax season. Thinking fast, he breaks off a piece of coconut shell and slides it onto his hand like a makeshift oven mitt. Innovation born from pain. With the crisis averted, it's time for coffee. He scoops the precious powder into a cup, pours the steaming water, stirs with purpose, and takes that first glorious sip. Strong, smoky, a little sandy. It's the taste of civilization rebranded for island living. He carries his cup to the beach, sits down like a businessman on his break, and stares at the ocean with the kind of peace you can only get when your entire to-do list is don't die. Coffee done, it's back to work. He grabs his fishing rod, heads to the shore, and casts his line. A few moments later, bam! Something bites. He reels it in, eyes wide. A black fish with electric blue spots, shimmering like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's so weirdly beautiful that he second-guesses eating it.
Look at him, he wants to come back to me. Oh, he's between me legs, bro.
A few steps later, he accidentally steps on a sharp rock and yelps loud enough to scare the seagulls. Pain flares, but there's no doctor on call, so he squats right there, performing amateur foot surgery with a pocket knife. It's not pretty, but it's effective. He limps away proud, half man, half DIY emergency room. Back at camp, he's starving again. Another fish tugs the line, a smaller swordfish this time, barely the size of his hand. He hesitates for a second, then shrugs. Sorry, buddy, your lunch. He sharpens a bamboo stick into a skewer and roasts it carefully over the fire. While waiting, he cracks open a coconut for a snack. The first bite feels like déjà vu and regret at the same time. Finally, the fish is done. Crispy edges, smoky aroma, and just enough char to make Gordon Ramsay twitch. He takes a bite, wraps it with coconut meat, and chews slowly. He could swear this is fine dining. When the meal's done, he wanders along the shoreline, the sun dipping low and golden. The air hums with peace. The past 3 days replay in his head. Burns, cuts, hunger, triumph. And somehow, he's grateful for every moment. Free coconut water, fresh fish, ocean breeze. It's the cheapest luxury retreat he's ever had. Finally, he packs up his gear and waves down the small boat waiting offshore. The challenge is over. 3 days of survival, and he's not just alive, he's lighter by 7 kilos and a few layers of sanity. As the boat drifts away, he looks back at the island with a grin. If you enjoyed watching this crazy island survival journey, hit that like button and subscribe to Catch and Cook Survival. More wild adventures and questionable meals are on the way.